Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Now come on in. Now come. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
Listen, I can't do a spin. I got on headphones. When you produce your own shit, you can't just be doing all kind of stuff. I told y'all I need a Jasmine. Okay, I need a Jasmine, but I would actually be, I would have to be leaving and all of that. And y'all know how I like working in my house. Y'all know how I like working from home. You know who you come to see. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. All right, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is girl. Listen, I don't really feel like it's giving much or nothing, but you know what? We here to talk about it. We're here to talk about it, girl. Let's go ahead and get into it. So Erica Banks is back at 1501 because Carl pulled out a contract saying she's still signed to him and she owes him 2 more albums. Doesn't that sound reminiscent of what happened with Megan Thee Stallion? Where's my shit? Hold up. We're gonna do it again. We're going to do it again. Erica Banks is back at 1501 because Carl pulled out a contract saying she's still signed to him and owes him 2 more albums. Who does that sound like? Megan Thee Stallion? The person that I will never let you forget you got online and spoke out against because you had just signed a 1501 and look at you back in the same situation? With them same wigs. They saying you look like Miss Nettie. They saying you look like Miss Nettie. And y'all know I don't really know who Miss Nettie is. I just know Miss Nettie has bad skin and y'all have made her him for clarification. Y'all have made her famous. And that's fine. Please do all what you will. Okay? I don't care how people get on. Do what you got to do to live better in this matrix we live in. But they say Erica Banks look like Miss Nettie. Miss Nettie said that's because I'm her auntie. And you know what? I see the resemblance. And I'm going to tell you what it is. It's not because Erica Banks is not a beautiful girl. Oh, no. Very beautiful. But for some reason, she does her makeup like she's trying to cover up a 5 o'clock shadow. And we would love for her to cease and desist on doing the fucking most with her makeup and her hair. We would love for her to just look like a regular person. But she always looks like a drag queen. Hey. Ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But if you felt offended when they said you look like Miss Nettie, that's what they meant. That's what they meant. But yes, same situation as Megan Thee Stallion. I'll bring it back to Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Carly invites Amy to hear her new song to see if she will give her a feature. And of course, she's down because she's petty. So we know the last couple of episodes, Carly and Erica have gotten into it because Erica has beef with 1501 and Carly is getting the beef from 1501. So she decided to make an adversary of Erica once Erica decided that she no longer wanted to do the song. And so now she's going to go to Amy. And Amy's petty. And Amy has issues with Erica Banks because of Chaotic, who was standing in the background there to support, feeling like there was really nothing he could do but be there physically. And hey, girl, sometimes you just need someone there that you feel loves your coochie. That's really what it is. Because I know you don't think he love you. It's very much given. I'm here to get my check from Love and Hip Hop, and I'm here to support the coochie that I would like to continue coitus with. Yes. Shout out to Sheldon. So Mama D at this juncture in life, somewhere in her 60s, has decided to make a diss track to her ex daughter in law and the mother of her 3 grandchildren, she decided to write a diss track about the Bam. The Bam is also in the studio trying to move on with her life. Don't really understand why Mama D still talking about her. Don't really get it. But she's had it up to here. She's set to perform at the 1501 event, but she isn't feeling good when she gets there and ends up having her 4th panic attack for the week. She said she'd had him in private, but never in public. And y'all, it reminded me of Soul Food. I don't know if y'all remember that show Soul Food, but Tara used to have panic attacks and they would start playing this music and she would start sweating. And like it really kind of made it apparent how they make you feel like you about to die, like you can't breathe. Like I've had panic attacks before, so I know how they feel. And yeah, it's bad. It's bad. And honestly, I feel like people are going to use this as some way to further abuse Bambi, and that annoys me. It annoys me the way people make it seem as if Bambi is the worst person, and I really haven't seen Bambi do anything for y'all to be this upset at the Bam. I really haven't. Now, I don't like the way she handled the situation with Erica Mena and Sierra. I didn't like how she handled that situation, and I do feel like sometimes she's a fucking follower. Like, why are you best friends with Jalen Banks? Make that make sense for me. Like, this is the man that got on the internet and said that his baby mama was a goddamn predator. And then came back and apologized for it after he realized what grooming actually meant. And you're best friends with him? Like, seems that she has an unhealthy allegiance to losers. It does. That's why she had 3 kids with Scrappy. But essentially, I still like the Bam. I do. I really do. I don't know why. I like the Bam. I think she's cool. I think she always handles herself well, no matter what anybody's talking about. I think she takes good care of her children. I think she's beautiful. I think she's business savvy. I think she has maintained her relevancy over a decade in reality TV. That is not easy to do. Um, and just all in all, I feel like I like Bam. So seeing Bam have the panic attacks, knowing that people are going to use this shit against her, knowing that to this day, Scrappy is doing interviews and talking to people, always trying to make it seem like he never really loved her. He never really cared about her. He wants to erase the fact that she was his wife. He keeps calling her his baby mama. Like, the amount of effort that they have taken against Bam, it's no wonder she's having panic attacks. Everybody expects Black women to just take all of these attacks and all of this emotional and mental abuse and, shit through social media. Y'all just expect them to take it in stride and act as if it doesn't hurt. And I think when it actually starts to show itself in ways that we cannot control, like panic attacks, it just really goes to show that we are human. We have fucking feelings. And nobody's perfect, but everybody, for the most part, is deserving of grace. Bambi hasn't done anything from anybody to me for people to feel like she deserves the way Mama D and Scrappy and Diamond and Erica have all like kind of attacked her, especially during this time of her going through the divorce. Like, this man cheated on her and everybody is going off about shit that she did when he was still married to her. So it's just it's very, very weird, like the way people feel like women are supposed, especially Black women, are supposed to be superhuman and just withstand all of this, hatred and all of this negative energy, and they're just not supposed to ever show that they're affected. And I think this is her showing that she's affected, and I'm glad that we get to see it, but I'm also sad that she's going through it because I feel like it's real. You know what I'm saying? And she really wanted to support Carly. She says, so Carly always shows up for her. Carly always supports her. Carly is a snake. I don't care what anybody says. I think Carly supports people because she knows it's in her best interest, because whenever she needs something, she wants to be able to turn around and say, hey, I did this stuff for you. I don't know if I feel like it's always out of the kindness of her heart. Like, especially because y'all are on this show together. I think she knows it behooves her to form real friendships with the people she's on these shows with so that it's more realistic. Like, Carly is the person that's going to think about that. So I think that, Carly being there for her, now she feels bad that she can't perform because of the panic attack. And so, she feels bad, but Carly tells her, she's always being superwoman. She's always taking care of everybody, and she can't always do that. And that's why I say, all of that shit is really being a superwoman and handling everything by yourself. No, 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 and fucking no. You know what I'm saying? And also holding shit in for everybody else's benefit. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all that. To me, her panic attacks are a sign that she's suppressing, like she's suppressing. And you don't need to continue to suppress. If you want to curse people out, curse them the fuck out. Okay, because I really feel like she's been doing her best to stay quiet as to not still be involved in this bullshit, but she's still feeling affected by it. Carly and Amy have a performance. Amy looks like a really good performer. Like she knows how to, use her body on stage, her energy on stage, her swag. She did good. Carly is struggling. Carly is doing shit that she saw Spice do that is not easy for her to do. You got butt injections and you are old. Either that or you wearing booty pads. I don't know what's going on, but I know that you don't have the physical capability to do the shit you was trying to do on that stage. And you should just Louis Gucci Prada. You know what I'm saying? You should just Louis Gucci Prada. You should just do your little two-step that you like to do and save everybody the worry of you hurting your hip. Cause that's what I was worried about. I was like, oh my God, Carly, please don't fall. Please don't fall. I don't want to see your ass explode on stage. So y'all, Rennie, we find out, y'all know, because last episode, Rennie had like a little moment where she was like shaking and looked like she threw up on the side of the bus. She has issues with her liver, so she had a moment, but she's okay. The girls go to support Spice for her performance in Belize. They have dinner after and discuss Spice needing to let petty stuff go because she's living in her dream. There's no reason to hold on to negativity when you're in this space that you've worked so hard to get. Um, but she's still being triggered by little things. Sierra is bothered because Eric is out in the club with bitches and he wanted her to know about it. And I'm just like, Sierra, you're going through a divorce. We've already determined Eric ain't shit. There's no reason to be bringing it up or further be feeling away. But I do understand this is a moment of just saying what you feeling. And if you saw that shit and you know that nigga trying to hurt you and you still a little raw, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it raw. But I was like, with Shekinah, girl, we hearing about Eric again. Ugh. They asked Sierra if she'll make up with the Bam, and she said she's not ready. It needs more time. They asked Rennie if she wants to make up with Erica Banks, but I'm like, no, she don't need to make up with Erica Banks because Erica Banks has a nasty ass energy that she needs to deal with on her own. Erica Banks, to me, is not a girl's girl. I think that she has a lot of underlying anger, and there's just like a nastiness to her energy that she needs to work through first because she's never going to be able to come to Rennie right because whatever the issue is, it's inside Erica. It's not about Rennie. Spice cries about, how she feels about being called Blackie and being a darker complected person. And Rennie has to tell her, girl, I do understand because I have a sister and she's darker, and people would make my sister feel like we weren't really sisters because of our difference in complexion. And, just said terrible things to her sister, but we're nice to her and she would fight for her sister. So Rennie does understand where Spice is coming from. Of course, not from the personal standpoint, but you could get real mad for your people. Me personally, me understanding that my mother was considered dark enough to be told some shit like you're dark, you're pretty for a dark-skinned woman. Like my dad was the first person to make me aware of the fact that my mother my mother was dark and people perceive that bad. I did not understand that. And this is how I know sometimes that my dad was fucked up because he says to me, your mom has, I know you see your mom as your mom, but she had, and I don't, you know what, he may not have been being fucked up. He may have wanted me to have some sympathy for my mom, but I can't imagine why at this age, because at this age that was my girl. You know what I'm saying? When I became a teenager we had issues, but like at this age that was my girl. And he says to me, she feels insecure about herself. I know you see your mom, as so beautiful and everything. You see her a certain way, but because of her skin tone, people will say things like your mom is pretty for a dark skinned girl. And I remember when he told me that, my decision was that I wasn't going to let that affect the way I felt about people, because until then I wasn't one of those girls that had, that liked light skin curly hair, because that's what was put in front of me, the little fizzes of the world. That's what was Jasmine Guy, like that's what was made to be beautiful. Everybody acts like they don't understand, how we were being brainwashed to think certain things about ourselves, but the light skin and curly hair shit was absolutely a thing. And I recognized that I wasn't that, but I was somewhere close to it. And I just didn't want to be like that. So I specifically sought out, especially when I was dating women. It didn't matter when I was dating boys. Specifically, like, it didn't matter. Like, even though my first real boyfriend was very dark skinned, and I hated the fact that people would say that he was ugly, because I just always thought he was so beautiful. Like, his skin, his hair was super, super shiny. And, he had soft eyes. And I love niggas with nice teeth and soft eyes. And he, soft eyes and nice teeth and shiny black hair. Like, I didn't see what everybody else saw. So that used to upset me a lot when I was growing up, hearing that from people, because he was my boyfriend like middle school and in high school. And then again in adulthood, like in my late teens, early 20s, we were together. So I didn't like that people would say that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I knew they were saying it because of his skin tone. So like, I made like a conscious effort in the way I saw people to like dispel that and not feel that way. And then when I started dating women, I made it a point to not do that, like not be a person that will only like somebody for a skin tone. But I had to make a conscious effort to do that. Like, I had to tell myself, hey, you not that person. You don't like that shit. Okay. And you're not gonna act like them people who, have said those things to your mom. You're not gonna be like that. You're not gonna think like that. I had to make a conscious effort at a young age to get that shit out of my head. So I know that people think that way. And I know that it affects the way men treat women. Like, I saw a video this morning on Instagram where a woman was talking about how men feel like, because she's a dark-skinned girl, that she's supposed to be so appreciative of any attention that they get from, dusty ass niggas, because they're not the preference. Like, all of the niggas know that this dark-skinned girl isn't the preference. So when I go up to her, she's supposed to be grateful that I'm even talking to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, having them say to a girl that she's not his normal type, that type of shit. Like, it's so prevalent now, and it's all over social media. Like, if y'all follow me on Instagram, y'all saw I was posting that like Pop the Balloon dating show that's on YouTube. They post clips on Instagram, and the light-skinned girl with the fine textured hair tells the dude that she's not interested in him for whatever reason, and he spends the time, you know what I'm saying, over explaining himself, and it's only because he was hurt that his preference didn't want him. That was his preference. There were a whole bunch of other girls that had balloons. Why not move on to the one that wants you? You want to stay on the preference that doesn't want you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's obvious to me a lot of the times the way men play into colorism, and make things, I feel like, just so hard for black women trying to date. I also feel like women like Kenya Moore have a different struggle as well. Being deemed a token brown dark girl is a bad experience as well. It is. It's real hate out here. I wanted to bleach when I got of age. I was 8 when I thought this, just to make the bullying stop. Colorism runs deep out here. It does. I had 3C curly long hair growing up, and I hated being asked, "Are you mixed? You got good hair." I'm not a damn unicorn. Me saying that I want to cut my hair still bothers people. Yeah, yeah, no, same for me. Why would you cut all your hair off? Like, offended. Like, and then I remember one time this ignorant nigga comes to paint my house, and looks at a picture of me and is like, "Was that all your hair?" Because it's the picture of me and Lyric, our engagement photos, and my hair was like down here at the time, and I had just had it like curled and cut. It was straight. It was still natural, but it was, my mom had straightened it. And the guy is like, "Oh, that's all your hair?" Like, because I have short hair now. So you think because I have short hair that I'm not growing hair? Like, really? Like, it doesn't make more sense that, like you, I would have to get haircuts in order to keep my hair short? Like the shit that niggas like, it crazy. The ignorant motherfucker, like, it's crazy. My daddy's a light skinned, almost white Creole man because of how he was raised. His family would tell him that his grandmother was rolling over in her grave because my mother is a chocolate brown. Oh yeah, no, my dad's people did not like the fact that he went and impregnated my mama, even though my mom was considered, you know, more beautiful because of her fine texture of hair, because my mom has small features. My mom was Miss New Orleans. Like, my mom's considered a beauty, even though she's darker complected. And people always like, your mom's not that dark. Yeah, when people get older, I feel like they produce less melanin. I don't know if anybody notices that, but if you notice, especially because people spend less time outside. When you're younger, you spend more time outside and in the sun. When you get older, you're inside more. And I feel like with everything, your processes and your body slow down as you get older. So I think you metabolize slower and don't create melanin as fast anymore. So that's why you'll see people who were darker when they were young be a little lighter once they get older. But my mom was still like considered a very dark complected woman when she was younger. Okay. And my grandfather was like looking at my fingers to see how dark I was going to be when they had me. You know what I'm saying? Like, trying to make sure I was going to be light. And I'm the same color as my dad. So I know that they were probably happy with that, but that hurt my feelings. I would like intentionally tan. We went to the beach all the time, and I would intentionally tan so that I can be my mother's complexion because I wanted to look like my mom. I would even get upset with people when they would tell me I look like my dad because I felt like it was a rejection of my mother's blackness, but also to tell me that I wasn't as beautiful as my mother. And because my mom is known for being beautiful. So you telling me that I look like my dad and I don't look like my mom is telling me that I'm not as beautiful. Okay. Like, that's how that translated to me when I was younger. So it was like a double thing. Like, it's crazy. But now that I'm older, of course, like, I feel like I absolutely look like my mother. I love my skin tone because I love me, but essentially I don't feel like it makes me any more beautiful to be this skin tone rather than a darker skin tone, because I know what I would look like in a darker skin tone. I would look like my mom. You know what I'm saying? And my mom was really pretty. So there's that. Um yeah, it's the whole colorism thing runs very rampant, very deep all over the world, not just with black people, Asian people, everybody seems to think that having darker complected skin is bad, and I hate that because that's so anti-nature. You have darker complected skin because of the sun, because you are reflective of your environment. Like, we are made up of the same shit that the earth is made up of. We are connected. Like, also the sun. Like, we need the sun like the earth needs the sun. We have melanin so that we don't die from sun exposure. Like that that's the point of melanin, okay? To deal with the fact that we live on a earth that needs the sun. So the humans that are here develop melanin so that they can withstand the sun's rays. Okay. Because we're human, we're not the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have different, you know what I'm saying? Different sensitivities and shit. But essentially, we are still like the same as the earth. And I think anything that's natural, we've been taught to be anti natural. That's what we've been taught. And I mean real natural, not the fake natural they sell you so you'll spend more money on shit. But like, we're anti what is natural for us. And I think what is natural for us is for us to get vitamin D and be out in the sun and develop melanin. Even white people. Like, because the Asian people have like white complected skin, y'all, yellowish skin. Their skin is not dark like ours all the time, and they still want to look like fucking vampires because they want to look so white. Like, they want to look like white paper. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want to look like that flushed, you know what I'm saying, tan that American white, especially southern white people. Like southern white people look like their actual skin tone is closer to light complected black people because they actually have like they form melanin over time. Over time they tan and their skin forms their version of melanin. Like it's crazy. It's crazy, y'all. That's all this is, and we somehow assign negative feelings towards it. I'm so sad about that in this life because people really hurt themselves, don't love themselves, and like just harm other people and themselves based on a lie that something is wrong with having dark skin. It's a lie. You know what I'm saying? It's a fucking lie. Anyway, y'all, let's move on from there. Zell and Santana are together raw. They go together real bad. And Santana makes Zell feel comfortable to finally be honest about being gay because y'all know Zell had a lot of internalized homophobia. Yes, I'm gay and I'm too much of a man to not just be who I am. Meaning like I ain't no fucking punk. And if I'm gay, I'ma be gay. And ain't nobody like if I want to fuck a dude and I'm gonna tell y'all I'm gonna fuck a dude, y'all ain't gonna make me feel bad about it. What y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna fight me? Let's fight then, nigga. Like that's the mindset that Zell had. Okay. But in that was still him not wanting to be feminine, not wanting to be around feminine gay men, wanting to promote liking women, wanting to be validated by other straight men. We saw Zell do these things, okay? Zell probably still does these things, okay? But either way, him and Santana are together now. Santana's very flamboyant, but Santana is also not a PDA person. He's a, chill type of person, like extra with the clothes and all of that. But especially now that Santana has something to lose, he has definitely toned it down much more than like before. Cause y'all remember Santana used to be down to the club acting a fool and almost got shot, girl. Okay. So yeah, Jessica White. Jessica White is working on music because that's what people do when they no longer do what they initially did in entertainment. They decide to become music artists. Girl, what? You singing, but you rapping on a song? So she friends with Zell and she wants Santana on her Vogue song that's produced by Bangladesh. Everybody know that Bangladesh is a huge producer. Okay. I think Bangladesh did Young Money, Young Money, Young Money. What's that song that Wayne did? Anyway, he's just done a lot of beats, child. I can't even go through them all. I can't even think of them right now, but I know him. Santana goes in to this meeting with Jessica in Bangladesh on business. Okay. You want me to just do Vogue? Why? Because it's Vogue, because it's gay, because I'm gay. He didn't say that, but that's what he meant. You just want me to be on a song because you want to punk on a song. They like that. That's why. And essentially, I understand where he was coming from, but I do want him to understand that it's Vogue because she's a model and it would make sense for you to come on it. But Santana was like, I got a song just like that. They don't even make no sense. I got a song just like that. Okay. But you know what, Zell, you trying to get back into music, so why don't you do it, Zell? And then, once Santana say, like, I'm just not really, I don't really like just hop on songs as soon as I meet people. So, this is just a little introductory meeting. But Zell, you should hop on it. And then he like, so wait, what's your name? Jessica? Oh, all right. Oh, wait, so are you Nick Cannon's baby mama? I'm like, see, Santana, this why people can't fuck with you, because you know exactly who that girl is. It's coming off disrespectful. But once she said, yeah, no, I had the miscarriages, he was like, I'm sorry. It came out like that. I'm sorry. Okay. But you know what? You a sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? Just keep working at it or whatever. And, we can have another conversation in the future. So basically, what Santana was saying was, she's not good enough to work with me right now. She's not good enough to work with me right now. Maybe if she, gets her shit up, gets her stripes up, you know what I'm saying? Makes some more music, becomes a more solid artist. Maybe we can, have this conversation again. It was a Millie. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. But yeah, I feel like that was fair of Santana. I really don't. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I don't prefer to see Santana on a reality show. I like Santana to just pop out on social media, read people, do music, and be on chill shit. And the only reason why I say that is because Santana is one of those people that the closer you put them under a microscope, you see how ignorant they are. And when you see how ignorant they are or how they do like the gay boy mean thing, like you dislike them. And I don't want to dislike Santana. I want to like Santana because Santana makes good music and is a good artist. Like I just want to stay in a vein of liking Santana because Santana has been known to be problematic as fuck. Okay. And I just don't want Santana to be given any opportunities, to make people mad on the internet about ignorant shit that he may say.